The body count continues.
Welcome to episode 45 of The Body Count Continues, where we usually talk about horror movies, Mariandra.
Are we really going to have this argument right now?
Are we talking about horror movies this week? Is this a horror movie? I think we might actually disagree on this part a bit, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say Jurassic Park is a horror movie. I know, like, we defended Jaws, another Steven Spielberg film, as a horror movie.
This is Jaws on land.
Is that how you see it? I actually do see this as, like, adventure movie territory.
It is an adventure movie, but this is Jaws on land.
So to you, it's horror. So to
officially
you,
classified as adventure sci-fi.
Yeah, that's where that sounds right.
I guess. Okay.
Are you looking for a website that has it tagged as horror right now?
No, I'm not. Listen. Spielberg himself has classified this film as Jaws on land.
Okay.
So I feel like the last word on this movie has to be the director's.
Okay, but that's not him calling it a horror movie, is it?
It's not, but that's always how I've felt about it. He just articulated it in a way that's kind of straight to the point. There's more teeth.
Yeah,
Jaws, there's one shark.
We're a horror movie podcast and we're talking about it, so is it not a horror movie now? Do we have that power, Marianne?
We do have that power. For those of you who do not think that Jurassic Park is a horror movie, it is now, bitches.
Our impact. Is this a movie you like, Marianne?
Is this a movie I like?
Yeah, that's my totally insincere question for you as we start this episode. Do you like Jurassic Park? You ever heard of it before?
Such an understatement. This movie is like top 10 all-time favorite movies for me, and I rewatch it.
You love it that much?
Yeah. I rewatch it so often.
I know you rewatch it every year, like, because, you know, I stalk your letterbox, so I know these things, but yeah, I didn't realize it was top 10. Like, damn.
Top 10. See, the problem with Letterboxd is they only give you a top 4. So I have like my 3 top that don't change.
What are they?
Jason Lives, Halloween, Day of the Dead.
Okay.
But then the 4th one changes according to, you know, my mood, whatever. But that's also because I wish I had I know a lot of people wish that it was a top 5 on Letterboxd, but I'm greedy. Give me a top 10, and this one would be in it.
It's not in your top 4 right now, though, is it?
It's in my top 4 right now. I put it up there, unfortunately, a few weeks ago when Sam Neill passed away.
Okay, so you added it there as a tribute to him, but it's not really a sneak because it would be top 10 anyway. That's like your wildcard slot for your favorites.
It is. It sometimes it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Sometimes it's Slumber Party Massacre. Sometimes it's Jaws. It just switches.
And sometimes it's Blackcoat's Daughter.
It's never Blackcoat's Daughter.
Okay. That gets in mind sometimes, though.
The fact that Sam Neill is no longer with us makes me so sad. He's in a lot of my favorite movies, but that's not the only reason it's up there. That was definitely the catalyst for it, but the movie is 100% deserving and is such an important part of my formative years, being introduced to movies that still hold like such significance for me.
Yeah, this was definitely one of my most rewatched movies on VHS back in the day.
Yeah. And for me, it was the catalyst of my lifelong love of dinosaurs. It's an amazing movie that still stands up today, but it's also one that means a lot to me personally. And I do consider it horror, even though it's not like consistently horror throughout. You have some scenes that are more adventure. You have some comedy in there. You have action. There's a few scenes that I can point to that are 100% horror.
Night eating.
The T-Rex scene, which is my favorite scene of the movie. That is absolutely terrifying. And while I watch it now with a different lens, when I was younger, watching Lex and Tim in that car used to scare the living shit out of me.
I don't think it ever scared me when I was a kid. This was always a fun movie for me. Maybe by the time I'd seen it, I'd already seen like some like full horror movies.
Yeah.
So maybe it was different, but I always thought it was fun. So like, I appreciate the atmosphere that's kind of horror-like, but never scared me. I mean, I'm also big and brave, you know, so there's that.
You're brave.
Yeah, I am.
You're not big. If you put Jurassic Park next to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously there's a disparity in
Which
the
I
horror.
wasn't watching when I was a kid. I was watching The Next Generation. I had that on VHS, even though I don't like it anymore. I had that on the VHS.
I love Next Gen. The comparison between this movie and a lot of other, for lack of a better term, like straight horror movies, this one feels more watered down.
With Spielberg, isn't it? Like, he doesn't do, at least not since the 70s, he's not really done a full horror movie.
Well, to be fair,
It's popular stuff.
the production of this movie, the story of the production of this movie is very complicated. First of all, the book is very long. And so
I never
right
read the book.
away, you need to. So here's the issue for me. When we talk about this as horror, the book is definitely horror. There's absolutely no question. It's vicious, it's gory. There's so much graphic violence, and it was heavily watered down for the theatrical version for multiple reasons. I'm sure the MPAA was in the back of Spielberg's mind, but he wanted to make a movie that children could watch. And I think he nailed that balance between taking from the book and making it scary, but also making it something that you could go and take your kids to see. And there are some creative choices in translating the source material into a movie script that I don't necessarily agree with, but largely he hit the nail on the head.
But missing from the book that's not in the movie that Marianne would love to have seen. I assume it's the more like straight horror stuff, to use your phrase.
No, but it's even little things. So
Okay.
in the book, John Hammond is a greedy, ruthless billionaire.
Yeah, I didn't watch much stuff to supplement this episode for research, but I did watch a documentary where Michael Crichton was talking about how he originally envisioned the character, and he said he was much darker in the book. Again, I've not read it, but that would have been interesting to see, I think, because Spielberg, that is one of the things that I guess he does water down, is John Hammond's almost portrayed as like a benevolent figure, even though he's the root cause of a lot of the bad shit that happens in this movie. So he was worse in the book, right?
He was worse in the book.
Bastard.
It's hard for me to say that I'm disappointed with certain things and then in the same breath say that I love this movie so much. It's a 5-star movie for me regardless, but you kind of imagine what could have been, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy with the final product, but then I think of little things that could have really put it over the top. So Hammond is not only portrayed more as a villain in the book, he's killed by a pack of compies. My one complaint about the movie, but it's really not enough to make me hate it, is the body count. In the book, the body count is off the charts compared to what we get in the movie. In the movie, we get 3 deaths. Sorry. So this is kind of funny. We get 4 deaths, but the characters only know of 3. So at the beginning of Jurassic Park Lost World, there's a scene with Ian Malcolm and John Hammond where they're talking about the events that happened in the original movie. And Goldblum's character mentions the deaths of 3 people. So that means that in the Jurassic Park universe, nobody knows that Dennis Nedry is dead.
Dennis Nedry being Wayne Knight's character, who disappears midway through the movie for the other characters because he's selling something, right? Like he has debt that he has to pay off or some shit.
No, he's a saboteur. So he's working. So InGen is the company that John Hammond owns, and Nedry is selling company secrets to their corporate rival, Biosyn, which the name of this company is not mentioned in the movie, but it is in the book.
Okay.
So he's just selling. It took, they say it takes 10, it took 10 years for Hammond to achieve what he achieved in Jurassic Park, and he's helping their corporate rival catch up on all of it by just handing over some dinosaur embryos.
Which apparently is all that they know that he does. But what we know as the viewer is that he gets got by that spinning dinosaur. I don't have the names of the dinosaurs memorized, I'm afraid. Maybe you do.
He's killed by a Dilophosaurus.
A Dilophosaurus, hell yeah. In one of the most memorable scenes of the movie, I think.
I've always just found it kind of funny that nobody knows that he's dead. I think they assume that he got to the boat, like he was trying to get to the docks. So I think the assumption is that he made it to the boat, got on the boat, and escaped.
Yeah, because John Hammond says at one point that he's not coming back. And he doesn't know that he's dead, so...
So In the second movie, they only account for 3 deaths.
Poor Dennis.
I just think that's kind of funny.
I would have appreciated more gore in some of the deaths. Like, imagine if, like, instead of just picking that one guy off the toilet, the T-Rex just ripped his upper body off. That would have been sweet.
That was one of the things that was toned down, was the gore.
Okay, so it was gory like that in there.
The book, like, I 100% recommend you pick yourself up a copy.
Okay, maybe I will.
There's an early scene in the book where a baby gets killed by a pack of compies, and Spielberg thought that that was just too much. That is the one scene. So a lot of scenes aren't used in this movie, but a lot of them are used in future movies. The stuff that was omitted in the original was used in Lost World, used in Jurassic Park 3, even as recently as Jurassic World Rebirth. So every time there's a new movie, I get kind of excited. I'm waiting for the filmmaker that has the balls to do that scene where a baby gets ripped apart by a pack of compies. You don't have to show it graphically, but Spielberg ruled that out very quickly.
Yeah, that's not really a Spielberg touch, is it? Killing kids. Like, they tend to survive. Except maybe in Jaws.
Alex Kintner, hello.
Nobody cares about Alex Kintner. Fuck him.
I do. Hey, it's fuck Alex Kintner's mother.
Oh, yeah. What a bitch. I remember her.
But no, he's not about gore, but he uses, just for my taste, he uses just the right amount of restraint. And as much as this movie differs from the book, even Crichton admits that a lot of what he wrote about can't be translated to film, either realistically or within a reasonable budget.
And this movie already had an unreasonable budget. It was tens of millions at the
It
time.
was 58, I believe, million? 58, 56.
Yeah, which in 1993, that's a lot. Guaranteed success also with Spielberg, but still.
When you're writing a book, you get to do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter what you're writing about, because budget isn't a concern. Whether or not it's plausible isn't a concern. Everything that you're writing about comes to life in the imagination of the reader. And some of these things are just not logistically possible when you're making a movie. There's a scene in the book where Alan Grant and Lex and Tim are in a raft going down a river while a T-Rex chases them. They wanted to. I think they had talked about possibly including this in the movie, but there were already other scenes where they were using the dinosaur animatronics and it was raining. So the foam latex on the animatronics were absorbing all the water.
Okay.
Making the animatronics that much heavier, and it was making them malfunction.
Oh, so it was like Bruce the Shark all over again, just with dinosaurs, impacted by water.
Yeah, impacted by water, not in the same way, but the added weight of the water soaking into them was making them malfunction. So putting one of these animatronics in the water would have been a complete disaster. So logistically, it wasn't doable. And one of the hardest things to work with CGI is water. Very hard to make it look realistic, to make the movement of the water look realistic. So
yeah, I could imagine so. Although the CGI in this movie does hold up pretty well, but yeah, when you're integrating water and you've got a fast-paced like chase scene, it might look crap. Who knows? I can see why the problems would occur.
So it's twofold. You've got the water not acting the way you want it to act in CG, and then you've got an animatronic that's experiencing difficulties because of the introduction of water. So I can kind of appreciate where they creatively decided to cut their losses.
But you still wish it was there?
The raft scene, not so much. It's
you
a
just
good
want to see
scene.
dead babies. Okay, I get it.
It's a good scene in the book, and they used that scene in Rebirth, the most recent movie. And I feel like a lot of the tension of how Crichton wrote it was lost in how they put it on screen finally. But there's a lot of scenes that were cut. 400-page book cut down, so they had to kind of make some creative decisions. You don't have all of the dinosaurs that appear in the book don't appear in the movie. So Spielberg picked his favorite dinosaurs, and he didn't want to make the movie feel like they were stuffing extra animals in there just for the sake of having them in the movie. He wanted them all to have a purpose. So he zeroed in on his favorite parts of the book, his favorite dinosaurs, and kind of went from there. And the two scenes that he decided from the beginning that he had to have in this movie were the T-Rex attack
Of course.
at the tour vehicles and the kitchen chase scene with the raptors and Lex and Tim. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. He picked two of the best scenes in the book. But the whole thing slaps from start to finish. So it's really hard when you have such a well-written book to kind of zero in on what 15 to 20% of it to turn that into a movie. And I think Spielberg did a great job. There were other directors in the running,
Such as
Joe Dante, Richard Donner,
Martin
James-
Scorsese.
no, James Cameron had expressed interest.
Oh, thank God we didn't get that.
James Cameron said that he would have gone in more gore heavy,
Okay.
whereas he kind of respected that Spielberg made a scary movie, a good movie that was able to be enjoyed by all audiences. Whereas I think he said his version would have definitely gotten an R rating.
Damn, maybe I do want to see the James Cameron version of Jurassic Park then. Maybe not a financial success that spawns the franchise, but I'd be seeing people get torn apart by dinosaurs. That'd be pretty sweet.
Joe Dante criticized some of Spielberg's creative choices, but I think Spielberg was the right choice.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what Joe Dante Jurassic Park would look like. Maybe a bit too wacky. He does wacky stuff, Joe Dante.
He does.
You
Richard
imagine, like,
Donner.
Jurassic Park with Gremlins, Richard Donner, forget about him.
I mean, Lethal Weapon. I don't know.
Would Richard Donner have made an exciting dinosaur movie? I don't know.
He would have had Alan Grant running around the park going, "I'm too old for this shit. Like, get out of here."
Alan Grant, of course, being the character played by Sam Neill, the dearly departed Sam Neill. Is he your favorite character in the franchise? I feel like he is. You mentioned him a lot. And he is the dinosaur guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was mine as well.
My favorite character, but also I love Ellie Sattler and I love Ian Malcolm. But
The big three.
Dr. Grant is the reason that I love dinosaurs. Like, the
And
way
he himself is the paleontologist. Like, he's
he
the
is.
main dinosaur guy in the whole franchise. Sam Neill wasn't in The Lost World, right? He was in Jurassic Park 3, which is the best sequel, by the way. That's my controversial take.
Best sequel. I don't know.
It doesn't have T-Rexes, though. Or at least it doesn't have much T-Rex action.
It doesn't.
That's the one drawback, I think, but it's very fun, I think.
The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 are polar opposites. So The Lost World has a really long runtime, whereas Jurassic Park 3 is like 90 minutes long.
Which also
There's-
helps for me.
They're really on opposite ends of the spectrum. The Lost World is an actual book written by Crichton. So there is source material there. It wasn't just a cash grab. And I like it. For some reason, The Lost World gets a really bad rap. I'm not sure why. I really like it. For me, they upped the gore. You said you wanted to see like somebody get ripped in half. You get that in The Lost World. There's a lot more blood. There's a lot more gore. There's a higher body count. Jurassic Park 3 for me is very wacky. It feels out of place in the franchise, but I love it.
Maybe that's closer to what Joe Dante would have done with a Jurassic Park movie then. Here I am
Maybe.
slating the idea, and then I say Jurassic Park 3 is my favorite. I like the opening as well and where that eventually leads.
I love Jurassic Park 3 because you're right, we don't get much T-Rex action, but we get a Spino. I am a big Spinosaurus fan, so that for me was a huge deal. And then we got a really good scene from the book that was omitted in the first movie, and that's the scene in the aviary where they're attacked by the pterodons. That was in the original book, and Spielberg didn't want to do it or couldn't do it because of budgetary reasons, whatever.
Yeah, the aviary stuff I do love about Jurassic Park 3. It's one of the highlights. And we get birds in this movie, at least. We just don't get actual flying dinosaurs. But as Jeff Goldblum explains, they're pretty much the same.
That's Dr. Grant that explains it.
So does he? Okay, my bad.
It's okay.
I just have the
But-
mental image of Jeff Goldblum splayed out, shirt off.
No, that's one of the best images in cinematic history. Like,
You
let's be
think so?
real.
I was looking on the Letterboxd page, because I like to change the backdrops because I pay for Patreon like a nerd. And
Yeah.
there's like 3 or 4 like vaguely different shots of Jeff Goldblum
I know.
shirtless, leaning.
That's
whatever
that's
he's
the
doing.
backdrop I picked on Letterboxd, by the way.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
And
When I seen
apparently-
came up when we were rewatching, I was like, this one's for the ladies. And it is.
You know what?
Gays
It's for the girls and the gays. And
Yeah.
the funniest part for me about that scene is that the choice to open up his shirt was Goldblum's. which I respect it.
He knew what he had.
But no, look, if we're talking about the whole universe, for me, the first three are my favorites. I'm not a huge fan of the Chris Pratt trilogy.
I like the first Jurassic World movie. The others
So
don't
do
do
I.
anything for me, but the first one was kind of, in a way, it sort of recaptured Jurassic Park, I guess because it was a long gap sequel. So it was like reviving the feeling that Jurassic Park gave in its own way.
I like Jurassic World because it gave me what I've always wanted out of one of these movies. It
Sexy
showed
redhead.
me No. It showed me a functioning park. In the original Jurassic Park, they're getting ready to open up. They're never open. They never do open. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And in Jurassic World, we finally get to see what this functioning park would look like. And it's also very hilarious because why in the fucking world would you ever attempt this again? But they
Hey,
did.
money talks.
And it works for a time until it doesn't.
Did you say, why would you attempt this again? But we both agreed while we were rewatching Jurassic Park that we would attempt Jurassic Park in a heartbeat. You said you wouldn't even care if you died.
I wouldn't care. As long as I get to see all the dinosaurs first, because then I get to die happy.
And you
But,
go to Jurassic World even knowing what happened to Jurassic Park, right?
Yep. I was doing some research ahead of this recording, and the
No.
production designer, in an interview, he made a point of saying that he did not want the park that he designed in this movie to feel commercial, to feel like Disneyland. Hammond describes it as an ecological preserve, and the production designer really wanted to honor that vision.
Which comes across. In fact, the characters even commented on it a bit because they get frustrated by the fact that they can't see all the dinosaurs that they want to see when they're going around in their cars.
Exactly. Whereas Jurassic World is so heavily fucking commercialized. I can't
It's
take
a full-on
it.
theme park, isn't it?
It's a theme
slick
park,
theme park with
and
shows and everything.
I saw Starbucks. I saw a Margaritaville.
She's seeing a lot, guys. That's what we're saying.
There's so much product placement in Jurassic World, and I don't know if that was a conscious effort on production's part to make a heavily commercialized park, because that park feels soulless compared to the park that we get in the original. So maybe that was a conscious effort, or I don't know, maybe the production reached out to these companies and wanted all this product placement.
I definitely would prefer Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, as just a visitor.
I mean,
maybe
yeah.
you wouldn't see all the dinosaurs. They might be hiding in the trees, but it has a better vibe. It has better vehicles, I think.
Oh, it has better
Those
everything.
Jurassic Park cars peak. I'd drive one right now.
The Jeep Wranglers are
Exactly.
iconic. The Ford Explorers are iconic. The whole thing is just, it's perfect.
And that's one of the things I love about the movie. It's so colorful. Like, it's also dark in the way it's shot, but like the vehicles, the signs, there's a lot of color in this movie that I enjoy. Whereas, as you say, in Jurassic World, it's more sanitized, commercialized. I'd rather be here than Jurassic World.
You have Dean Cundey to thank for that, one of the greatest cinematographers of all time, who's provided a realistic, crisp, color-saturated look for this movie. And as you said, even though some parts of the movie are dark, when you're looking at the daytime scenes, like the greenery is very lush.
Yes.
No fucking notes, even with the scenes from the book that they omitted that I kind of wish they hadn't. It's a perfect fucking movie, and it's fun every time. It never loses anything. I never turn it on and go like, oh, this again. It's perfect storm of a movie. And I will say this about Spielberg. He hires the best collaborators. Like,
he has that freedom. Like, he's been the man in Hollywood for what, 4 decades now.
I mean, Dean Cundey, top tier cinematographer. John Williams is
legendary
the golden god.
Movie. Everybody knows Jurassic Park soundtrack. Like, that's how iconic.
Stan Winston, who did the effects and animatronics. Holy fuck. He always goes all out, and not necessarily picking people based on their resume, but picking people based on who would be best for the job. And that's so obvious when you look at the story of the writing of this script, because they went through so many rewrites. Originally, Spielberg asked Crichton to write the movie. Wasn't happy with Crichton's version, made some suggestions. Crichton went in and made some changes, resubmitted. Spielberg still wasn't happy, so Spielberg brought in a new writer. Malia Scotch Marmo did her own version. Spielberg was still not happy. Apparently, in her version, she'd completely eliminated Dr. Ian Malcolm's character.
She did what? Nah, fuck her. Fuck her.
In the book,
Get her out of here, Steve.
Ian Malcolm is not a funny character. All of his dialogue is about math and chaos.
He doesn't have that Jeff Goldblum personality.
He doesn't have the Jeff Goldblum swagger, and in the book he's all about his numbers. He's a nerd. And nobody every single writer had one thing in common. They did not know how to incorporate Ian Malcolm's character. So what Marmo did was she took some of his traits, eliminated the character, but applied those traits to Dr. Grant.
Okay.
Every version of the script.
So we almost got shirtless Sam Neill, is what you're saying?
Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, you'd have been down for that still, probably.
Yeah. All three of them shirtless. Let's go.
Laura Dern, too.
Yeah. But finally, Spielberg asked David Coop to come in and write it. And he was the one who best incorporated everything from the book that Spielberg wanted, all of the characters, and like the number of rewrites on this project is insane. And usually when you hear about countless rewrites, the final product is usually
a mess.
Yeah. But Spielberg has an eye. Like, he knew what he wanted from the movie, and that starts with the script. And I think picking Coop was a smart choice. And finally, somebody who was able to incorporate Ian Malcolm's character and also make some changes that were necessary to the story. So the romance between Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler does not exist in the book, added to the movie. Lex does not have a crush on Dr. Grant in the book, but in the movie, she has a teenage crush on him. In the book, Lex and Tim are switched around. So Tim is the older one. He's the computer hacker, and Spielberg switched them around for the movie.
Good choice.
A lot of choices that he made work, and he had a very distinct idea for what he wanted to do, and he pulled it off. This is arguably one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's certainly one of the greatest blockbusters of all time, I think. You're going to say this is his best movie? I don't know if I'd agree with that.
It's tied with Jaws for me.
Okay.
The two of them are interchangeable, both 5 stars, great scores, great actors.
Okay, but what about E.T.? Is that not up there for you? That might be my favorite. I think E.T. and AI probably my favorite Spielberg movie.
AI? Get the fuck out of here.
Did you not like AI? I know it's a bit soppy, but I enjoyed it.
You hate soppy movies. What is wrong with you?
I like some soppy movies. Are you an AI hater? Is this how I find out that you hate
I'm not an
AI?
AI hater, but I don't think it belongs.
That was a 5-star movie for me. Sorry.
It doesn't belong in a conversation about Spielberg's best movies. What a joke.
Okay, well, I already said E.T.'s number 1, so I get a get out of jail free card. I like the Fabelmans too. Have you seen the Fabelmans?
It's been a while.
I don't know if it's your sort of movie, but
it's probably not.
No,
I haven't seen E.T. in a while. It is a great movie. But
also soppy. As
a child, I remember being traumatized by the scenes where the government comes in and takes E.T. away from Elliot. And it's funny.
It got dark there for a minute.
E.T. is one of the few movies that I was allowed to watch as a kid because it wasn't horror. And how funny is that? There was a time when it was perfectly acceptable to put traumatizing scenes into kids' movies. I'm looking at you, Neverending Story, Old Yeller. This was perfectly okay.
I still haven't watched Neverending Story, but I know what scene you're talking about. It
was perfectly normal to traumatize children at one time, but this makes no sense to me because I enjoy blood, and the things that traumatized me the most in my youth were bloodless scenes that just ripped my still beating heart out of my chest. E.T.'s good. But I associate it with trauma.
Okay, so you automatically can't put it at the top just because you're trauma.
Yeah,
that must have been my most rewatched Spielberg movie as a kid, E.T. I'm sure Jurassic Park was close, but...
You know that I am a basic bitch.
Yeah, I've been saying this.
So Jaws and Jurassic Park it is for me. Anyways, let's get to it. The story kicks off with an accident in the park.
Now we're talking about the story of the movie. We've gone quite far into the episode.
There's so much interesting stuff. not only about the movie itself, but about the production, about the book. So the movie kicks off with an accident in the park, which is not open yet. They're getting ready to open in the next year. An employee is killed by a velociraptor. So this sets off a chain of events. A lawyer then arrives because he is to conduct an inspection of the park in the wake of the accident because the investors are concerned. And then we meet Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sattler, who are digging for bones out in Montana. And the setup is Alan Grant hates kids. He hates technology. He hates a lot of things. This is why I love Alan. He just fucking hates everybody and everything, except for Ellie.
And to be fair, he has good reason to hate this one kid.
What a
They said
little
this one
bastard.
dick's like what an annoying little dick.
Isn't he the one from The Dream Child?
He is. I recognized him.
Same kid that was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5. And yeah, he's a little bastard in both movies. Anyways, Alan hates everything. He's such a purist. There's people at this dig site that have brought technology with them, designed to make the digging better and easier. He has no interest in any of this.
No,
He wants to sit there with his little brush and dig for hours and hours. Fuck your technology. And he scares the shit out of this douchebag kid who deserved it because he had the audacity to say that a velociraptor isn't scary. Fuck you, kid. I love raptors, so no raptor slander will be allowed. Raptors are really the only constant in this franchise, even more than the T-Rex. I think the raptors are the constant, probably because they're cheaper to build. Like animatronics-wise, they're not big.
Yeah.
But they are scary. And Ellie makes it clear that she wants kids. Grant doesn't because they smell and they're dirty. So Laura Dern has said that she has strong feelings about the romance between her and Dr. Grant in this movie, being that there's a 20-year age gap. He is her boss. She kind of thinks it's a bit icky in hindsight.
Sure, I see it. There's an imbalance. It's not as if it's like laid on thick, though, is it? It's sort
It's
of like a
not.
side quest that the movie has.
It's not really a big plot point, but also Dr. Grant is not portrayed as somebody who is
It's not sleazy.
abusing. He's not sleazy and he's not abusing his power. He's not holding this power over her as his subordinate. He treats her very much like his equal. So I don't know. I don't find it that icky, but Hammond arrives at their dig site to ask them to take part in this inspection because he wants their endorsement. And he basically comes off like the eccentric billionaire. He just looks like he's dripping money. Arrives in a helicopter, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
So they agree reluctantly after he offers to fund their dig for 3 more years. And this is happening at the same time that Dennis Nedry, Wayne Knight, Newman, for all of you Seinfeld fans, meets with Dodson from Biosyn. He's going to steal InGen's work and sell it to a corporate rival. And it's to be transported in the iconic Barbasol can. Do you use Barbasol? Do you have it in the UK?
I don't think so.
Wow. All right.
Describe Barbasol. Maybe we have an alternate.
We just watched the movie last night. What do you mean describe Barbasol? Are you kidding me right now? Are you joking?
I was distracted by Wayne Knight's beauty, right? Whatever happened to Wayne Knight?
Barbasol is
actually?
shaving cream. It's in a can.
I'm trolling. Okay, we have shaving cream. Oh my god.
Okay, but you have Barbasol.
We
Fuck,
don't have
answer the
Barbasol, I don't believe.
question.
I've never heard of that brand name outside of Jurassic Park.
It's actually a very well-known brand. I don't know how well-known it is now. The market is probably oversaturated, but my dad used to use Barbasol.
All right.
And the can that they use in the movie looks exactly like the can you used to find on the shelves. I don't know anymore.
Whatever happened to Wayne Knight? You don't see him in movies anymore. Like, I feel like he did Space Jam, and that was it. He disappeared. Maybe he does voice acting now. Was he cancelled?
No.
Was he in the
Hang on,
Epstein files?
No.
He might have been,
Stop it.
allegedly.
So after Seinfeld, he was on Third Rock from the Sun. He's on Toonsylvania,
Never heard of it.
Shaolin Showdown, Cat Scratch, Legend of the Three Caballeros.
Okay, so he's in a bunch of stuff that we've never heard of. I guess he's still making residuals though, so
Five Nights at Freddy's 2,
that's unfortunate.
Toy Story 2,
That's good.
Goat.
He's my goat.
Oh, that's a kid's movie. Hang on, filmography. Let's take a look at what he's done most recently.
Let's interrupt the Jurassic Park episode for Wayne Knight.
You
deep dive.
asked this fucking question. Shut up.
Okay. No, I'm interested.
Jurassic Park the game, that
Okay.
90s show, 911 Lone Star. Look, he does a lot of Monster High. He does Robot Chicken. He does a lot of television.
He's a TV actor then. That's why I don't see him, because I don't watch TV.
He was on an
I'm a
episode
real
of Law and Order
cinephile.
SVU. He's a TV actor, which I find kind of a shame. Like, I feel
He's
like
funny.
I do realize he's not a leading man, but very good character actor in my opinion.
You wouldn't watch a Wait Night rom-com.
I grew up on Seinfeld. I'm a huge fan of Seinfeld. I can quote that show chapter and verse back to back.
Never watched it.
And Wayne Knight, as much as he doesn't appear, and I find that's the beauty of Seinfeld is, listen, the four mains are great. They're hilarious. But I think it finds its value in its secondary characters who don't get as much screen time, but you find yourself wishing that they had more screen time. You should check it out. I think you'd find it hilarious.
I already know the worst person in the world. I don't need this show.
Who's the worst person in the world?
Don't worry about it.
Say it, bitch.
I don't have time to watch Seinfeld. What is it, like 200 episodes or something? Fuck that.
So what?
I'll stick with VHS, thank you very much.
They're 20-minute
It's a real
episodes.
show.
Seinfeld is often cited as the greatest comedy show of all time. Nobody is calling AHS the greatest anything of all time.
I am.
Okay, well, you don't matter.
Whoa. This podcast episode just took a turn.
You want to
Holy
slander
shit.
Seinfeld? I'll slander
I'm not
AHS.
slandering you. I'm just saying I'm not really that interested. Is that a crime?
I'm going to show you a few episodes. You're going to
Oh, fuck.
understand the beauty of it. I wish you'd gotten a little more screen time in this, but I love Dennis Nedry, and
He's fun. He makes the most of it.
it's really easy to paint Nedry as the villain. That's kind of the low-hanging fruit. He's not really the villain. He's the catalyst for everything that goes wrong in the park. But the villain, as highlighted by Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler, and Dr. Malcolm, is the hubris displayed by InGen just by having done the things that they have done. As Malcolm says at one point, you were so preoccupied with whether or not you could that you didn't consider whether or not you should. There's a larger conversation across the movie about the ethics of what they've done.
Yeah, in a way, it's sort of like classic sci-fi movies where I wouldn't say it's an anti-science bias, but there's like a concern for how far science can go, and that's what Jeff Goldblum's character, Ian Malcolm, really fulfills. He's basically the character who conveys the movie's underlying themes for those that aren't quite getting it just by watching the movie. That's his purpose. That and to, of course, be sexy Jeff Goldblum.
He is the first one, like right out of the gate, he is the first one to question what they're doing here. It takes Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler a little while to catch up to him.
Well,
to
because
how
they're
he
so
feels.
amazed by brontosauruses and stuff.
They are. But right out the gate, he is on Hammond's neck.
He's a hater.
He's not a hater. He's
A little bit.
I don't think he's a hater. I think he is seeing the bigger picture. And look, there's a lot of moving parts here. There's the money that, as the lawyer points out, the money that is to be made from this venture. And then there's Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler that are just amazed that this is even possible. He's really the only one who's able to take a step back. And as much as he's amazed by the sight of a dinosaur, he still kind of realizes, like, wait a minute, how did you do this? Why did you do this? What is the point of this? And I think his character is integral to the whole story. And we meet him on the helicopter ride to the island. And to say that he's eccentric would be one of the world's biggest understatements. He just, how does Hammond put it? He suffers from an excess of personality.
Same.
You suffer from an excess of something.
Hell yeah, I do, ladies.
Ladies.
Oh.
You have a lady. Shut the fuck up. So they arrive at the park. They don't know what they're going to see. And we get easily one of the most iconic scenes of the movie and the franchise. And that's the Brachiosaurus scene where all of them. But the focus is definitely more on Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler.
Yeah, specifically Dr. Grant, he's like the audience during this scene, really. He's feeling the same amazement that I guess a lot of audience would have felt when they first saw the Brachiosaurus scene. For me, it's one of the best scenes in the movie, where you first see the dinosaurs, and it lives up to the build-up. Like, it meets your expectations.
Does.
And like, you can't recapture like the amazement that you feel when you first see it on rewatch, but it's still there in a way. I remember this was always the scene as a kid that like embedded itself in my brain. First seeing those huge dinosaurs that look so real. I mean, you look at them today, you can see they're a bit too plasticky, but still.
Okay, one thing we're not going to do is that. We can't talk about this movie without talking about how this movie is the gold standard
Absolutely.
of effects. While there might be one or two minute details that have not aged well, the effects and the animatronics in this movie are
Top tier.
top tier. Over 30 years later,
It's what I said in my review.
it's still, I actually wrote that review first the last
Oh.
time I watched. You kind of
Oh,
copy
shit.
pasted.
Did
but
I
it's
copy
okay.
it? Did I copy your review unintentionally?
bit.
Oh my God.
A little
Well,
bit. It's okay.
At least you were big enough to leave it a like still.
I challenge somebody to point to another movie whose effects have aged so well over time. And the advancements that we've made in computer generated imagery, you would think that you could point to something that's better. There's maybe a few things that have looked better in the theater when you watch them, but then even 5 years later, they look like dated. And this is just,
Still the same.
the blueprint. This is what every director should be using as a point of reference when you're making a movie that's so heavy on effects. And unfortunately, Spielberg seems to be the only one who's cracked that code. After all these years, still, it's wild to me. The Brachiosaurus scene is iconic, and you talk about Dr. Grant. The movie really shows the dinosaurs through his eyes, in a way. And the second he gets to the park and the second he sees the dinosaurs, he almost reverts back to a child. His acting is very childlike. He's looking at everything with this sense of wonderment that you would see in the eyes of like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, especially when he gets to pet the Triceratops, which was his favorite dinosaur.
When he is on the Triceratops and it's breathing and he's just smiling, that is my facial expression when I watch this. I'm not exaggerating. It's just pure joy for me. And nobody could have done this role as good as Sam Neill did it. Like, just amazing. And just when you think the Brachiosaurus scene can't get any better, Spielberg hits you with that John Williams score. Instant orgasm.
Ew.
A Brachiosaurus, sexy Alan Grant, and that music. Like, hand me the KY. I'm going to rub one out right now.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Too much?
No, it's fine.
All right.
We expect it by now. It's just what you're like.
There's like such a pure quality to this scene. It makes me smile so big every time. Hammond takes them back to the main building and has them watch the Mr. DNA video. Mr. DNA is so funny because instead of dinosaur, it's dyna-sahrs.
It's a weird way of pronouncing it. It doesn't pronounce anything else weird. It's just dyna-sahr. I can't even do it. But I enjoy the fact that they put that in there.
Spielberg wanted to come up with a way to translate how this was possible for the viewers in a way that was easy to understand, that wouldn't feel overly scientific. And that's how they came up with the Mr. DNA video as a ride in the park. And Spielberg jokingly came up with the name Mr. DNA.
Kind of reminds me of that old paperclip thing that you'd get on Microsoft Word.
Clippy!
I forgot what his name was. Was his name Clippy? I see you're writing a letter. Fuck off. It reminded me of that little guy. Just a little less annoying. Yeah, I know how to type, Clippy. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That stupid fuck-ass paperclip really pissed me off.
We don't need Clippy. Like, give me, like, porny or something that's going to help me find the right kind of fetish content when I'm browsing the internet at 3 a.m.
The body count continues after dark.
Body count, indeed. I'm putting a spin on it. We'll do a horror porn episode
You know what's
one
funny?
day, guys.
When we were like settling on that, picking the title of our
Settling?
podcast was
Fuck.
like,
That was an ordeal.
picking the title for our podcast was an ordeal. You're not lying. Like, we went back and forth for over a month.
Well, hell yeah, it was like 2 months.
And we made lists, and the best ones that we came up with were taken. It was really like a roller coaster of emotion. I want to say like a month into the podcast, I had done a search. Anyways, there is a podcast called The Body Count, and it's all about sex.
Oh, yeah.
So, I feel like we're kindred with them in a way because we like
maybe
sex.
there's a little bit of overlap.
They're taking this tour of the facility. They're learning how everything works. They get to see the lab, and the lawyer, Gennaro, wants to know if these characters are autoerotica. One of the most underrated scenes in the movie. Like, Funny as hell, but also how do you confuse animatronics with autoerotica? What are you doing in your spare time?
Bit of a Freudian slip, perhaps.
Then we get Jeff Goldblum's iconic monologue that, life will not be contained. Life finds a way. This in response to finding out that all of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are female because they're engineered that way. So they can't breed.
Yeah, but then Jeff Goldblum's like, never underestimate lesbian vampires. Or dinosaurs. Why did I say vampires?
I don't remember the part where he said that, but I believe you.
No.
I probably checked out for half a second. I've watched this movie.
He definitely
Hundreds
talks
of
about
times.
lesbian dinosaurs, trust.
He definitely does. This movie is for the lesbians, for the dinosaur lovers, for the girls, for the gays, for the lesbians. It's for everybody.
So what we're saying basically is that Ian Malcolm is a bit of a homophobe.
What?
No?
No?
Too much?
Too
Too far?
much. Holy fuck, bro.
Fuck Ian Malcolm. We hate him on this podcast, guys.
If anything, he's a gay icon. No, we don't. Okay, you need to find some middle ground. Holy hell. We love Ian. I love Ian Malcolm.
Team Alan Grant. That's what I
But-
say. Alan Grant appreciates lesbian dinosaurs.
Listen, you can like more than one character in this movie. What is wrong with you today? You're so, sassy.
Sick.
Okay, I said, what's wrong with you today?
Wow.
Probably the most iconic line of dialogue from this movie. Life finds a way.
Oh,
At least
so it's
mine.
not Dennis Nedry saying, see, nobody cares. When the T-Rex says it's Jurassic in time, cinema chills. Imagine if they did have talking dinosaurs.
They do in part 3.
That's why it's the best one.
Oh, fuck off.
Cinema peaked right there.
Dr. Wu has almost a cameo in this movie. He's only in one scene, which is a bit of a shame because he is a very integral part of the book. But luckily, the sequels fix that. He's not in Lost World and he's not in Jurassic Park 3, but he features heavily in the Jurassic World trilogy. So they do flesh his character out a bit, and he becomes somewhat of a villain later on. But he's the one that shows them around the lab and they get to watch a raptor baby hatch. And he's the one that explains that all the dinosaurs are female because in the developmental stage, they deny the dinosaurs a nutrient that would allow them to have that chromosome that would make them male.
And everything goes disastrously wrong at Jurassic Park, thus proving that bitches be crazy.
They go to the raptor paddock. We meet Patrick Muldoon, the game warden at Jurassic Park. He's very manly. He's British. Bob Peck.
We are manly people.
Are you really?
Not really, no. And they feed a cow into this paddock.
That poor cow.
And I suggested that there weren't actually any dinosaurs in there, that they were just feeding Wayne Knight. But you said that wasn't appropriate.
A lot of the things you say are inappropriate, but it's okay. I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, Marianne cuts a lot of stuff out of the podcast, guys. I'd have been cancelled longer if it wasn't for her.
See, I got your back. The lawyer is ecstatic about the potential money that they're going to make.
Classic lawyer.
He has this idea that they're going to make this park accessible only to the super rich. Hammond wants everybody to have access to the park and the animals.
So maybe they'll do a coupon day.
At this point, Malcolm, Sattler, and Grant are more concerned with the ethical side of the equation. The amazement that had washed over them at the beginning of the film has been replaced with genuine concern.
Yeah,
And
it's
rightfully so.
dissipated a little bit.
It
And
has.
just wait till they see what happens in the sequels where it's not just dinosaurs that originally existed, but fucking mutant ones.
Well, here's the
At
thing.
least they're not doing crossbreeding in 1993's Jurassic Park.
But these aren't dinosaurs in Jurassic World. Dr. Wu is having a conversation with Masrani, and he's telling him that none of the animals in Jurassic Park are real, that they've always had to fill the gaps in the gene sequences with other animals.
Yeah, like
And
frog
that-
DNA.
And if they did in fact have real dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, that they would look very different from what you're used to seeing. So even
have
in
top hats.
1993's version, these are not authentic dinosaurs because the sequence gaps in their DNA have been replaced with other animals. So they're not doing gene splicing. They're not doing genetic experimentation. There's still, again, some ethical questions that people are asking. And I do think that the dinosaurs have never looked cooler than they did in Jurassic Park, the first 3. They're getting ready to take their tour of the park, and Hammond's grandchildren, Tim and Lex, are going to take the tour with them. The tour begins, and we get the iconic shot of the gates, and Dr. Malcolm wants to know if they have King Kong in there. Dude, what they have in there is so much cooler than King Kong.
Yeah, they have Godzilla.
Cooler than Godzilla.
Hey.
What?
Don't get carried away. Not too much on the go.
I said it with my whole chest. These dinosaurs are cooler than Godzilla. Are you a Godzilla fan?
I like Godzilla, yeah.
I never knew this about you.
Yeah. I remember when I watched the original Godzilla vs. King Kong movie, I was very annoyed that King Kong basically won that movie.
So my introduction to Godzilla, you're gonna die here.
Okay. Not the 98 one, is it?
Yep.
Boy.
Matthew Broderick.
Have you seen the original Godzilla? You know, the classic one, Japanese.
I did. So
That's a banger.
I had an ex like a million years ago who was into Godzilla, and he showed me the original, and I did not like it. It was not for me. And I think if I remember correctly, he wanted to take me on a tour through like the entire filmography. And after the first one, I was like, I will literally slit my wrists in front of you if we go any further.
Oh, okay, so he didn't have you watching all the Godzilla versus Mothra movies and stuff like that?
No, I would never sit through that. And listen, I am willing to put up with a lot of cinematic slop. You know, my friends have shown me some of the worst fucking movies, and I'll sit through it.
Can't relate.
But
I only show you good movies, fortunately.
That's not true. But no, Godzilla is not for me. And many people over the years have tried to convince me of Godzilla's legitimacy and
Legitimacy?
Yeah.
Godzilla's a fucking fraud, everyone.
Not a fraud, but like I don't see the vision.
Okay.
Why has he come back like 20 million times?
I mean, I'm not like a Godzilla super fan, but I enjoy Godzilla generally.
I will say I thoroughly enjoyed Godzilla -1.
Okay. I thought you was going to say that you thoroughly enjoyed the Godzilla 1998 movie with Matthew Broderick.
I also did, by
You
the
also
way.
enjoyed that? Okay.
I did.
Nobody likes that movie. You're the one person.
I had no point of reference, okay? I had absolutely no point of reference for that movie.
Did you see that in theaters?
No.
Okay. So was this one that this ex that you mentioned showed you?
No.
Okay, so he just showed you the original.
I used to be at Blockbuster every Friday and Saturday night renting whatever the fuck the new releases were, whether they interested me or not. I used to be more like you, where I consumed it all. And I rented Godzilla, and listen, I realized that to a Godzilla purist, that this is like a shit stain on the entire legacy of Godzilla. I get that. But me,
But you don't even like Godzilla, so fuck it.
having no prior attachment to Godzilla, so I don't give a shit about the portrayal. I don't give a shit about the accuracy. I don't give a shit about the lore. This movie was full of the things that I liked at the time. It was action-packed. It just has this late 1990s vibe to it. And that song by Jimmy Page, it's not a terrible watch. But yeah, Godzilla not for me. And many people have tried. I've had friends over the years that tried to impart the importance of Godzilla onto me, and it
Now it's
just
my
doesn't
turn.
stick. No,
I've just been tagged in. I'll see you later tonight, Marianne.
I'm not watching a Godzilla movie. I will fucking drop out of the Discord so fast.
Okay, let's get back to Jurassic Park then.
All right, let's do that. Nedry and Hammond are arguing about money. Nedry feels underappreciated. He feels like he's entitled to bigger salary because his boss is a billionaire. You're rich. You can afford to pay me more.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Rich people don't stay rich by giving away their money, though.
Oh, look at you. You're about to mount a fucking valiant defense of billionaires and
No.
corporations. You need to be working for minimum wage, everyone. You fucking communist.
This entire argument about money seems to be a Dennis Nedry problem and nothing more. That's always been my take. There's no dinosaurs on the dinosaur tour because every paddock that they pass by, the dinosaurs are hiding in the bush. So they try luring the T-Rex out with a goat. Doesn't work. At one point on the tour, they jump out of the cars to go see a sick Triceratops. And Muldoon makes a good point. We need locking mechanisms on the doors. Why the fuck wouldn't you have that from the jump? Human beings are profoundly stupid. I feel like putting locks on those cars should have been the first thing that they did. Hell, I would jump out. I love Triceratops. But also Dr. Grant when he sees the Triceratops and when he lies down on top of it. Oh, that's just pure joy. I love it. All this while Dr. Sattler inspects dino droppings. Big pile of shit.
You all know the meme.
Goldblum is the most memeable character in this movie, easily. The tour ends because there's a storm rolling in, so everybody has to head back to the park. And Nedry is compromising the park security systems to get the stolen embryos out. And we have a little scene between Ian and Alan where Dr. Grant subtly kind of confirms that him and Ellie are a thing. Like you said before, their romance really doesn't take center stage at all. Like, you don't see them kiss in the movie. You don't see anything in the movie that would lead you to believe that they are together, apart from his jealousy of Dr. Malcolm, because Dr. Malcolm is a bit of a lech in this movie, slightly. Less so in the sequels, but he's a little bit like smarmy, don't you think?
Well, he's down to fuck. That's for sure.
Wow, boiling his character down to DTF. That's deep.
He's ready if Laura Dern's ready,
He's not like overtly creepy, but he definitely makes his interest known. He's definitely flirting with her. And Alan is very subtly jealous. But apart from that, there's really no indication of a romance between them. It's one of the subplots that is so in the back of my mind. I don't know. Even at the beginning when she says she wants kids and he says he doesn't. I thought that was just two coworkers having a conversation about procreation.
As we do all the time.
Just as the park systems go out, the vehicles stop in front of the T-Rex paddock. There's no driver in these cars. In reality, all the cars were driven by drivers who were hidden in the trunks of the vehicles. Then we get to what I would consider the most iconic scene in the movie, and that's the T-Rex scene. I mean, isn't that why everybody showed up for this movie? Look, the Dilophosaurus, the Brachiosaurus, the Raptors, all very cool. Is anybody cooler than the T-Rex?
No, which is where the Jurassic World movies kind of fail, because they think that they do have something cooler than the T-Rex, which they don't.
Thank you. You get it.
What's cooler than seeing a lawyer get pulled off of a toilet by a Tyrannosaurus Rex,
That's a really good scene, bloodless. That's one of the ones that could have used a touch more gore, but...
Yeah, just like rip the upper half of his body off, that's what I say. But it's fine. It's funny. I don't know if he'd totally deserve that to happen to him. He wasn't that bad. Just kind of a douchebag.
The scene that you're asking for, you get it in Lost World.
Okay.
Adam Schiff's character gets ripped apart by two T-Rexes, and they each grab one end and pull him apart. I do like the scene of Gennaro running to the bathroom and hiding on the toilet, only to get killed, which deserved, because he's just a
So you do
sketchy-ass
think
lawyer.
he deserved it all? Just for being a lawyer. How dare he?
Like, he starts the movie being genuinely concerned for investors and the safety of everybody in the park. And he pivots really fucking quickly to look at how much money we can make. He's scum.
This is Marianne who says that billionaires shouldn't pay their staff well.
No, I never said that. You interpret things really like however you choose, don't you? The whole scene is just so well done. I mean, the T-Rex animatronic is top tier, and Lex and Tim are under attack in their car while Dr. Grant and Dr. Malcolm look on from their car. The T-Rex pushing the car off the edge into the ravine, and Tim ending up in a tree. Such a great scene. And the beginning of Dr. Grant's character arc, where he starts off hating children, and by the end of the movie, his point of view has undoubtedly changed, because he does love Lex and Tim, or at least he shares a closeness with them. I mean, I guess you have to after you go through something like that.
I'll just move on.
Stop it. You know
them
what?
kids.
You do have a heart. Despite what you want people to believe, you do have a heart in there somewhere deep down. Muldoon and Sattler go looking for Lex and Tim. Hammond stays back with the park's programmer, Mr. Arnold. Samuel Jackson, by the way, I always forget that he's in this movie.
Well, yeah, he just has like a supporting part that doesn't really go anywhere.
It's such a small part, and he doesn't say motherfucker, so it doesn't feel like Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, he doesn't say that he's had it with these motherfucking dinosaurs in this motherfucking theme park. So why is he even here?
Oh, I love a good Snakes on a Plane reference.
And he doesn't slur anyone.
No, he doesn't. He's just a chain smoker who smokes his cigarettes down to the
Spielberg?
filter and
complains about Nedry.
And complains about Nedry. And this, just as him and Hammond have realized that they cannot get Jurassic Park back online without Nedry, who at this point is looking for the doc, but he's lost. And it's curtains for him.
He gets got by, what's the name of the dinosaur again?
A Dilophosaurus.
He gets got by the fan dinosaur.
Wow, you can't even say Dilophosaurus?
Dilophosaurus.
There you go.
Which spits in his face.
It's a lot easier to say than Archaeonithormimus.
I agree. He gets killed in his car after being spat on.
But even if he hadn't gotten got, he drops his can of Barbasol. So it was over for him anyways. Wouldn't have mattered. Grant, Lex, and Tim discover broken dinosaur eggshells, concluding that the dinosaurs are breeding. because of the DNA of West African amphibians who are capable of changing their sex in single-sex environments. So Dr. Malcolm was right. Life finds a way.
Intelligent lesbian dinosaurs find a way. Just this one oversight that fucks everything up.
This is an issue that repeats itself in Jurassic World. They fill the sequence gaps in the Indominus Rex's DNA with cuttlefish and I forget the other one. Anyway, so then they learn very late in the game that this dinosaur can camouflage and can avoid thermal technology, like you said. Big oversight. The hell. Thus begins our lesbian dinosaur story. Except they're not lesbians anymore.
They've gone straight. They're like the girl from Chasing Amy.
They were lesbian dinosaurs, and then they got a taste of dick, and I mean,
Oh no.
I'd fold.
Bisexual dinosaurs now.
Pansexual dinosaurs.
Which only makes them more powerful.
Exactly. Bisexual people are some of the most powerful on this planet.
You can beat my ass, I'm sure.
Hammond and Arnold reboot the park systems, and Arnold dies off screen after leaving to go get everything back online at the maintenance shed. This is a scene that was changed while they were shooting.
Okay, so he does die.
He does
don't see
die.
it. Okay.
Well, yeah, you don't see it. Afterwards, Dr. Sattler finds his severed arm. So originally, the script called for a scene where Arnold is hunted and chased down and killed by a pack of velociraptors. And they filmed this in Hawaii, and during filming, there was a big hurricane, which interrupted filming. So it became an off-screen death. That is, to this day, one of my biggest issues with the movie. What could have been? I would have loved to see the kill that they had originally envisioned for him. We do get a raptor death, but like hunted and chased, that just sounds so fun. That's it for Dr. Arnold. And I don't like off-screen deaths, period. I know you don't either. It's just cheap. So of the 3 people that are believed to have died, only 2 of them happen on screen. So yeah, okay. You're making my whole this is a horror movie thing a really hard sell. I'm kind of rethinking it as we're talking.
Yeah, well.
Shut up.
I'm correct, is what you're saying. And you're right, I am correct.
I did not say that you're correct.
I don't think it's a horror movie. I really don't.
All right, we'll get to that after. Sattler and Muldoon go to the shed when Arnold doesn't return and realize that the shutdown has released the raptors. That to me, like, that's the scariest part of this movie. As much as I love the T-Rex, hearing that the raptors are loose, that's really like scary as fuck. Whereas the T-Rex can't sneak up on you. Like, the ground literally fucking shakes when the T-Rex approaches you. So you know he's coming. The raptors are stealthy. Sattler gets the power back online just as Muldoon is killed by raptors. I love the raptors. The raptors and the T-Rex and the Spinos. Oh my God. I love all the dinosaurs. I wish there was more dinosaurs in this dinosaur movie.
I think we had enough. Like, they fit. I get where Spielberg was coming from.
I don't mean more kinds of dinosaurs. I mean more screen time for the ones that we do have.
I mean, I think there probably is a few scenes that could have been replaced by dinosaur stuff.
I mean, of course.
I forgot how long the movie is, actually, until I rewatched it.
It's 2 hours. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
When you consider that if this movie were made today, it would be 3 hours long.
Oh, for sure. I still think it could have been 90 minutes. Like, there's some stuff that we didn't need.
I don't know. If I went over every scene, every frame in my mind, there might be 1 or 2 scenes that I could live without. But it's hard for me to pick apart a movie that, for me, is perfect. Even though I'm like a 90-minute girly, some movies deserve the full 2 hours. And this is one of them. People say the same shit about Jaws. People are like, my God, Jaws gets so boring in the like second, third act. And
it's like, it does get slow.
It does.
I wouldn't say boring.
But there's nothing that I would take out. And I apply that to this movie too. I don't know. I feel like Spielberg's lost his touch recently. I really did not love Disclosure Day as much as I wanted to.
I haven't seen it yet. I've not really been too tapped into most of what Spielberg's done lately. I watched The Fabelmans, but that's mostly because I knew what it was about and I'd read his biography. So I was interested in seeing that, but I don't know if I'll ever see The Post or some of these other movies he's doing that are just like Oscar bait. 80s and 90s Spielberg's definitely the high point still.
He's undefeated. 70s, 80s, and 90s.
And Duel, of course.
We spend a large part of the movie with Dr. Grant and Lex and Tim, who after the incident with the T-Rex are trying to make their way back to the park's main building. And when Dr. Sattler is turning the park's power back on, we get a really good scene with Sam Neill. Dr. Grant does the ultimate dad joke. They're climbing over an electric fence, grabs it, pretends that he's getting electrocuted, which scares the shit out of Lex and Tim. That's something my dad would have done 100%. Unfortunately, in the process, Tim gets electrocuted, but he's okay. And they find their way back to the visitor center where Dr. Grant leaves the kids alone. I guess he thinks they're safe. He doesn't know that the raptors are loose yet, to be fair, but he leaves them alone so that he can go and find Ellie. And they're doing exactly what I would do. They see this buffet full of food and they're like, we're going to fucking eat. At one point, they have like an entire fucking cake on their table. No plate, just like a cake and a fork. The iconic image of, I use the word iconic way too much. I do realize that. And I don't give shit, by the way. The iconic image of Ariana Richards, who plays Lex. They're eating and she has a spoonful of Jell-O in her hand and she's just shaking. And you see the Jell-O shaking. And then you see the raptor's shadow. And we get the kitchen chase scene, which is a really good scene. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, maybe this is the scene that gives the strongest argument to your horror claim for the movie.
It's got an alien vibe to it.
It's the most contained scene in the whole movie, I think. They've tried to like recapture in some of the more recent movies, unsuccessfully, by the way. But yeah, I enjoyed the contained raptor scene. It's very tense. And like you say, it's very similar to Alien.
It goes back and forth between Lex and Tim and Ellie and Dr. Grant, where Ellie says, well, I think we're okay unless they learn to open doors. And it's just at that moment that we see Lex and Tim hiding in the kitchen and the raptor does indeed open the door. That is like nightmare fuel. A very tense scene. And like, as much as we're big fans of the Fuck Them Children cinematic universe, you have to admit that the stakes feel higher in this scene because it's kids being stalked.
I don't know. I wouldn't care.
I like Lex and Tim.
Nah.
I'm the first to say fuck them kids. And one thing,
The girl's alright. The other one, nah.
no, I
He
love
could have
Tim.
died. Annoying little dick.
He's a nerd. He's a little nerdy kid. I like him. And one thing that becomes a constant in this franchise is the presence of a child or children. If we compare all of the children of the Jurassic Park universe, Lex and Tim are by far the least annoying. And that is the highest compliment I could pay them. Because I usually find children in movies annoying.
You didn't like the kid in Part 3?
He's okay. He's okay. You know what? I probably have him second after Lex and Tim. I find Jeff Goldblum's daughter in Part 2 to be insanely fucking annoying, and her little gymnastics trick at the end is just so stupid. The kids in Jurassic World, the older brother is an asshole to his younger brother. The whole thing just kind of annoys me. I don't like that subplot. And then the girl in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, I forget her name, Christ. Anyways, she's a clone. She's like my least favorite. I cannot freaking stand her. And then there's a kid in Rebirth who I don't mind. She's actually kind of higher on my list. She's the one who tries to take Dolores with her, the little Aquilops. So I feel like Lex and Tim are the least annoying. Children usually annoy me, but I like them. I even like Tim. He's adorable. I love Joe Mazzello. They escape the kitchen with the help of Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler, and Lex, who is a computer hacker, restores the park's systems so they can call for a helicopter. But as they prepare to leave, they're cornered one more time by the raptors because we need just a little bit more dinosaur action in this movie. But the T-Rex appears and fights them. So nothing really happens. Just gives them the time to escape. And Dr. Grant has decided, after much consideration, not to endorse Mr. Hammond's park.
Fuck this park. You're right, it does suck a bit. My park is kind of ass.
I probably say this too often about too many movies, but 5 stars, no notes.
4.5 stars from me. I almost considered dropping 4 stars on it, but I decided, nostalgia wins out a little bit. It's okay that it gets a little slow in places.
In movies like this, I am willing to forgive the failings because of a cool dinosaur.
Yeah, I get it. Like, do I really care about Samuel L. Jackson's scenes? Not really. Did we need the whole setup scene with Wayne Knight's character? Not really.
We did. We did.
That could have just happened in the movie. And I don't think it would have changed anything. You just get the one meme out of that scene.
To be fair,
where he's like, nobody cares.
The scene at the cafe in the beginning,
yeah,
it's not a long scene. So you say it doesn't belong there. It sets up an integral part of the story without being too drawn out. So, and it hits the important points, being that Nedry feels that Hammond has been cheap with him, that he's selling out in Jen's work to a corporate rival. And for that scene to provide as much context as it does to the entire story in such a small time, I feel like it is necessary. If there's any scenes that would be cut, I would say it would be some of the scenes with Dr. Grant and the kids. There's a lot of scenes but with them, but I feel like that serves his character development. Because at the end, when they're escaping on the helicopter, he's got both kids sleeping on him with their heads on his shoulders.
It's a little corny.
It is.
Spielberg for you. He loves a bit of corn, the Spielberg.
I'm not taking that criticism from somebody who likes artificial intelligence.
Hey, I don't say that it's not corny. I think I would say maybe it's a better movie. That's just me, though.
Then Jurassic Park?
That's my controversial take, I guess.
Are you insane?
Well, I gave that movie 5 stars, I think, so.
What?
What? Have you watched it lately? I think it's pretty good.
5 stars? Oh my God, I can never take your rating system seriously ever again. Holy fuck.
Why not?
Because you gave AI 5 stars and you didn't give it to Jurassic Park. Are we having a serious conversation?
Yeah, I just checked. I did give it 5 stars. And that's even a longer movie than Jurassic Park. So, like, all my criticisms that I have with Jurassic Park, you
Make
put
no
them on
sense.
AI, and I still like AI more. I'm a fucking fraud.
Your whole fucking argument just fell apart. What?
You should be happy.
Happy?
What do you rate AI?
I don't know. I haven't watched it since I joined Letterboxd, and I'm not one of those weirdos who rates movies without logging them.
Wow, okay. Shots
Wait,
fired.
you do that?
I imported my old IMDb ratings, so I guess
That's
it's kind
fine.
of different.
My opinions on movies change. Things that I didn't like when I was younger, I like now.
Yeah, I don't rate stuff from memory or anything like that.
But that's it. When you rate without watching something that you haven't seen in a while, for example, to me, it might not be the most accurate rating. I would
You should,
rather
because then it would help me when it comes to picking movies for us to watch.
Would it really help you?
I mean, I try to pick first-time watches anyway, at least for myself. So yeah, that's my hot take. AI, artificial intelligence. That's the real movie you should be watching this week, guys. Right? No, not the silence. Oh my God. I've lost her.
You can't see my face right now, but like I'm fuming. I could reach through this microphone and slap you. Are we having a serious conversation right now? That is the takeaway?
No, the real takeaway this week, because I watched the Stalked by My Doctor franchise starring Eric Roberts in the leading role. The real takeaway is that maybe Jurassic Park would have been even more fun if he had been in this movie.
Even Emma doesn't want him around.
Even Emma, well, she has very good reasons. She has more valid reasons than me, who just likes bad movies. No wedding invite for you, Eric.
So this took a turn. Anyways, you took a hard left somewhere.
AI, Eric Roberts. There's someone out there that's listening to this. They see the vision. Like R.I.P. Sam Neill, but imagine Eric Roberts in that role.
Whoa, shut your pie hole right now.
Eric Roberts. Dr. Grant. Think about it.
How dare you? You're vile for that. Nobody could have played that role the way Sam Neill did.
You wouldn't want to see Eric Roberts doing his Runaway Train Oscar-nominated performance in Jurassic Park. Remember that?
Not at all.
Remember how over the top he was?
The casting of this movie.
It's on point.
Spielberg wanted quality actors who came cheap. He wanted to save the majority of his budget for the effects and the animatronics.
Hey, Eric Roberts can do one of those things. Come cheap.
That's the problem. There were a lot of big name actors that auditioned that ultimately didn't get the part because they were charging too much. And I'm so happy.
Is there anyone in particular? Because I don't know the law. Eric Roberts was in a movie called Jurassic Domination, which I assume is, in the ballpark of Jurassic Park. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's probably good.
Kurt Russell and Richard Dreyfuss auditioned, but were deemed too expensive. The role was turned down by William Hurt, Harrison Ford, and Tim Robbins.
What role?
Dr. Grant.
Okay.
Robin Wright and Juliette Binoche turned down offers to play Dr. Sattler.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Helen
good.
Hunt also auditioned, but Laura Dern was chosen after Spielberg had initially compiled a group of young actresses, but one of the writers felt that they were ingenues and wouldn't be realistic for the role of a scientist.
Yeah, rightly so. Imagine Gwyneth Paltrow playing that role. No.
No,
That's
thank
a no
you.
from me.
Jim Carrey auditioned for the role of Ian Malcolm,
Oh my God.
but the casting director felt Jeff Goldblum was the only choice. Other actors that were considered for the role of Malcolm include Tim Curry, Albert Brooks, Fisher Stevens, Judd Nelson, Kevin Pollak, Timothy Hutton, and Charles Grodin.
Okay. Well, that's a wide net.
Right?
There's some very different actors in there. Like, did they not know what they wanted originally? Is this part of the rewriting process that they just changed the idea of the actor they were looking for? Because there's some very different actors in there.
Well, Ian Malcolm was the most difficult part of the writing process and the casting process because he has an aura to him. And they absolutely made the right choice with Goldblum.
I don't know. Imagine fucking 60-year-old Charles Grodin splayed out, shirt open.
Well, I don't think he was that old at the time. Anyways.
I think he was. He must have been around 60.
Richard Attenborough was cast as John Hammond at the insistence of Spielberg, who said he couldn't see anyone else playing the role. Sean Connery was also a top choice, but his fee was too high.
I was expecting you to, like, say Anthony Hopkins or something as well.
Neil, Dern, Goldblum, and Attenborough were cast only a few weeks before shooting started.
Desperation.
Ariana Richards, who plays Lex, was cast based on her Scream.
Okay. Scream Queen.
Christina Ricci also auditioned, and the casting director cast Samuel Jackson as Ray Arnold after seeing his performance in, and you can't make this up, Jungle Fever.
Yeah.
And chose Wayne Knight to play Dennis Nedry after seeing him in Basic Instinct.
Famous scene.
Allotting the majority of his budget towards the effects and the animatronics is what makes the movie work. If we had gotten all of these high-paid actors who are good actors, we'd have these janky-looking dinosaurs, and Jurassic Park would look more like Tammy and the T-Rex.
Also a good movie.
No Tammy and the T-Rex slander around here.
And that T-Rex fucked in that movie, by the way. It's the one thing Jurassic Park's missing. Dinosaur sex. And that's why
They
lopped
do
off
have
off
sex. They just do it off screen.
That's the problem. It's like off-screen deaths all over again, you know? 4.5 stars for me.
5 stars. It's a perfect movie. There's a lot of opinions you have had that I felt strongly about. This is the worst one you've ever shared with me.
Oh, okay, so that's serious.
It's very serious. Now, when a movie comes out, you have all this tie-in merch. That wasn't a thing back in the day. Movies weren't merchandised the way they are now. And I feel like Jurassic Park is the movie that changed that. There was merchandise with movies as far back as like Star Wars. But I feel like Jurassic Park, I mean, they even talk about it in the movie, you know, like sell, lunchbox. And I remember when the movie came out, my parents bought me so much stuff. I had books that tied in with the movie. I had stuffed animals. I had the lunchbox. They sell Barbasol can props. Like, I feel like this movie really kind of changed the landscape of merchandising, for better or for worse. I mean, for worse, let's be realistic. Now you can get yourself a $50 popcorn bucket with every fucking movie. I don't need a Scary Movie 6 popcorn bucket.
Don't need Scary Movie 6, so
You're not wrong. As for the is this horror debate,
no.
the majority of the film is not like heavy-handed on the horror, but it exists in the spectrum of horror. I wouldn't say that the first genre I associate with this is horror. Definitely action adventure, sci-fi. I feel like it has more horror elements than science fiction elements.
It's genetically like modified dinosaurs. The whole thing's science fiction.
So I'm curious, are you being facetious when you say part 3 is your favorite in the franchise?
The first one's the best one.
And then the third one is your number 2?
Yeah.
All right. This is the dinosaur movie. And Dr. Grant is the dinosaur man.
R.I.P. Sam Neill.
He's done so many great roles aside from Jurassic Park, but the impact of not only of this movie, but of Sam Neill's role in it. There's so many people that love dinosaurs because of him. I'm one of them. The dinosaurs that I saw before Jurassic Park were cartoons. Since we're talking about fucking movies that traumatized you as a child, The Land Before Time. You ever see that?
I think so, but I don't really remember it.
It's a cartoon about the extinction of the dinosaurs, and it'll rip your fucking heart clean out.
The TV show Dinosaurs, where they all die at the end.
Oh, God.
Because the Ice Age comes. But I don't really remember The Land Before Time. I know I've watched it, but I
Gut
just don't
wrenching.
remember it.
I was traumatized by the series finale of Dinosaurs too, by the way. I loved that show.
The Ice Age comes and you know they're going to die. What a way to end it.
I can't stop thinking about that Dinosaurs series finale. When I close my eyes, I can see it. We miss Sam Neill, our dinosaur man, and 5 stars, and whatever rating Evil gives it is really inconsequential because he thinks AI is better. So the whole house of cards just came falling down today
All right, sure. I'll take
before
that.
my very eyes because I'm such a good friend. I'm going to watch AI. It's been like over 10 years. I'll give it a chance.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next week.